I can hardly believe it's a year since I came over to Main Building just as the country was about to shut down to record a message to you about the tribulations to come. We couldn't then have imagined how long it would take or how hard the road would be. Those first weeks were very difficult as we adjusted to a dramatically different way of living and working and above all, absorbed the awful news of the loss of colleagues, friends and family. Many tears have been shed since that day, and we commemorated the dreadful toll of the pandemic last week when we lit up Main Building in yellow on the anniversary of the lockdown. I've said it before and I'll say it again. In the face of huge adversity, you, the university community, have been magnificent. The team spirit, resourcefulness, ingenuity and agility have been and continue to be unparalleled. Thank you so much for going more than the extra mile. I know that remote teaching combined with remote schooling for some or other caring responsibilities has been very difficult. So for others has been living in isolation. Research, outreach and many other activities have been affected. I'm very grateful for everything you've done. The crisis is not over yet, but we can see light at the end of the tunnel. For all the international quarrels, the vaccination programme is proving to be a dramatic success, and evidence of much increased protection to those most vulnerable is already emerging. That protection will gradually be extended to the rest of the population over the coming weeks and months. The genomic surveillance capacity we have in this university and throughout these islands, coordinated by COG UK, gives us the ability to track new variants of SARS-CoV-2, the coronavirus, as they emerge. Measures can be taken to control their spread, and vaccines adjusted to take account of any important changes. We mustn't be overconfident, but it isn't unreasonable to expect that in the coming weeks and months, life will return much closer to what we regard as normal in this country. As for the university, we can be proud of the way we've worked together to protect the health, safety and well-being of our students whilst continuing their education. Thankfully, the Easter vacation will shortly be upon us, and I hope as many of you as possible will be able to take a well-deserved break. Please do take annual leave if you can. Kirsty Williams recently made it clear that students will be able to return to blended learning in the summer term. It'll be open to academic schools to resume in-person teaching or other in-person events with students that they deem appropriate. I know from our Students' Union representatives that students are very keen to be able to attend campus in person, and there'll be no restrictions on their doing so long as everybody continues to observe the COVID-secure procedures that remain in place from before Christmas. I know that many staff too are keen to return to campus. All we ask is that all staff and students once again observe COVID-secure procedures and make frequent use of our on-campus screening service twice a week if possible, so that we're able to provide reassurance and be aware of any incidents that does emerge at the earliest possible stage. I'm also very much aware that returning to campus may cause anxiety in some, and I do understand this. Please be reassured that we continue to be absolutely committed to working collegially to address any anxieties or other issues that people may be dealing with as we increase our on-campus activities once again. We want all staff to feel comfortable and safe in support of our efforts to do the best we can for our students. We've gone to enormous lengths to ensure the health and safety of everybody who comes onto campus, and I'm very aware that many staff and students have continued in-person activities throughout this year. I visited several schools in person to see their COVID-secure operation for myself. And again, a big thank you to all staff and the many thousands of students who've been attending in-person classes and activities throughout this academic year, or since resuming on the 22nd of February. As you know, we work closely with Public Health Wales and Welsh Government and will continue to abide by all guidance. But we have a further advantage. Our own in-house experts, who are members of the Cardiff University Coronavirus Task Force. Dr. Andrew Friedman, our infectious disease expert, is an invaluable source of advice, and throughout the crisis I've listened very carefully to what he and other experts have to say. I'm extremely grateful to Andrew and to everybody who's given up their time every week to contribute to the task force discussions and decisions. So here we are, 1 year later. Without vaccines, we'd essentially not be very much further forward than we were then in terms of controlling infections. Despite all the bitter experience of the past year, though, we can now feel real hope that by the autumn we'll be in a very different position. Of course, we must and we will keep the situation under constant review, but the ability to track new variants, rapidly make adjustments to vaccines and administer them at pace is genuinely a game changer. So please do enjoy the Easter vacation, and let's look forward to a brighter future.